Hello, Just Too Good here, back from the review. Today we're reviewing the LEGO Friends 2015 Advent Calendar. Now, they release a LEGO Friends Advent Calendar every year since 2012, and I've been reviewing them every year since 2012, and this is the fourth one that they've released. This has 233 pieces, 2 mini dolls, and retails for $30 in the United States. Now, how I'm reviewing this is, since the 2 mini dolls are spoiled on the front, I will be reviewing the 2 mini dolls first, so that will be right after this little segment of the video. Then I'll be opening up each one day by day in this same review. So if you want to follow along during December, because it starts out December 1st and then you end December 24th, you can follow along then, but I'm going to be opening them right now, so you can see that. And then at the end of the review, I'm going to be expressing my thoughts on the set altogether. So now let's take a look at the mini dolls. So here is Andrea. Of course, we've gotten many Andreas before. I love that hairpiece, but this version has some nice little leg. The leg piece printing is very cool. I kind of like how that came out. And I like the torso, which is actually exclusive to the set. And here is Lisa. This version actually comes, or the torso is not exclusive. It's just a little bit uncommon. It comes in the Heart Lake High School set. It comes in the mall, and then it comes in some little TV van set. So it's not very common, but I still like how they use that. And her hairpiece is kind of standard, but still nice to get that hairpiece. It's not one that they use for the main Friends, you know, in that color at least. So let's get this sucker open, but you can see these advent calendars have so much good details on them. This one even has some digital surprises throughout some special days. And then if you open them up, you gotta kind of flap this open right here, and you see it reveals this whole kind of skating scene on the bottom, as well as all 24 of those little days that you punch holes into reveal the little builds. Let's see what's in day one. Alright, so the first one is Andrea right here. So yeah, we already took a look at Andrea, but again, I'm going to reiterate it. I love that new torso that's exclusive to the set, and her hairpiece is always a pleasure to get because it's my favorite out of all the LEGO Friends hairpieces. Day 2. Alright, so this looks like a little table for a pair of skates. So here's the table, and of course that little pair of ice skates can't be fit on a mini doll. And there you go. Alright, so on to day 3. Alright, so we got this little sleigh, it looks like. So here is the simple sleigh. Not too much going on here in terms of the build, but you could fit one mini doll on there. And there you go. Okay, so December 4th. And we got this little snowman. So here is this little snowman. They do one of these every year. There's not much variation this time around. Except I don't remember them using this little dish on front with like a little flower, but I guess a nice way to get a blank white head and a little top hat. And day 5 is... oh look, it's Lisa. Yeah, so we already went over Lisa, like that uncommon torso print, but yeah, not too interesting. December 6th. And we got what looks to be like a little ski kind of a flag post. So here's all the day 6 stuff. The little flag post, nothing interesting, but I like all these little accessory parts. The 2 little skis in purple are great because purple's my favorite color, and these ski pieces are always nice to get. I'm going to be using those, I think. And these 2 little ski kind of sticks right here are also kind of cool in that teal color, even though I've gotten a lot of those in that color before. And this little glasses right here, goggles attached to this little helmet is actually really nice. That fits on mini dolls and minifigures alike. You can see how that kind of looks on Andrea right there. If you don't wear the proper gear while skiing, you're gonna have a bad time. All right, day 7. What is it? Oh, it's a little stand with a microphone. So here's that little stand right here where it's just kind of like maybe a stand that you'd see at like a winter show or something. And they have this little microphone set up which uses the same colorings from the Popstar line. Then you could fit your little mini doll right there and they could be singing to maybe a little stage filled with people. Number 8, or day 8. And we got a little kind of sound system. So here's a little sound system. You basically got 2 speakers, and I kind of like how this is built. It's a very simple build, but they use this little hinge modified plate on the bottom. Then they use this little plate right here with the hinge at the end, and I think it looks really cool how they did that because now it's kind of tilted up. So pretty neat little build, pretty cool to accompany the stage, and now let's go on to the next day. Day 9. All right, what we got here? All right, so you got a little saxophone stand. So here's a little saxophone stand. You got Lisa's sax right there, or maybe Lisa's sax. Haha, get it, Simpsons reference. Yeah, nice little piece for the saxophone because in that color it doesn't come in too many things, and yeah, not too much going on here. Alright, for day 10, let's see what we got. And we got all these little accessories. So yeah, these come in a lot of LEGO Friends sets. Some of them I really like the little hair dryer and stuff like that, and the hair combs. Some of them I don't really care for, like all the little hair attachments. I never really cared for those. But of course you can put them on your mini doll like that. So yeah, hair dryer is cool and that stuff. The hair attachments really not for me. I don't have much of a use for them, but extra pieces, always kind of welcome. Day 11, let's see what we got. Oh, it's a little wand. Whoa, this is actually kind of interesting. So I'm going into this really blind. I haven't seen all the other builds and everything, so I was really surprised that they actually gave this little gnome hat in this set. This is a really uncommon piece. I'm super, like, it's awesome. Because, yeah, I didn't have this piece forever, and then I finally got, like, a Series 4 pack from earlier this year. I got that little gnome guy, but I always wanted more of this piece. I love this little headpiece right here, so that's really cool. And then you also got a little wand and a crown. They give you an extra one of those two pieces. Unfortunately, no extra of the little gnome hat, but you could fit it on your minifigures or mini dolls like that. So very cool little treasure box of kind of these little fantasy era kind of utilities right here. So day 12, let's see. Oh, it's a little kind of place for the bunny. So here's that little bunny's little kind of, I guess, resting place or shelter or whatever. And there's not too much going on here, but I do like the inclusion of the carrot that they give. Also the 2x2 jumper plate in yellow, and of course the mini bunny, because this is a newer mold. This is actually different from the kind of medium-sized bunny mold that they've been using for Friends. So this one actually, I think came out this year specifically, and it does fit for an accessory at the top, but they don't include accessories particularly in this little build right here, but still very, very adorable. December 13th, let's see what we got. And it looks like kind of this little part right here, which is maybe like a little market stand. So here's a little market stand, just a cute little build. It's pretty simple. I like how they include a little branch on the side, the brick pieces on the bottom, and the printed $100 bill, which tops things off. All right, number 14, or day 14. We got, oh, this sucker won't open. All right, so it looks like a little oven. So here is the stove/oven contraption. They do one of these just about every year, and it's nothing really unique. Using that same kind of build from Stephanie's Outdoor Bakery, a very early LEGO Friends set. Inside, you can kind of slip in this little baking tray with a sweet thing, and there's 4 little studs to represent a stove on top. All right, so day 15, or December 15th. Let's see what we got. Oh, looks like just some assorted silverware. Did I say silverware? This is clearly a hot chocolate setup, but this is one of my favorites so far. Disregard the 3 on the front, even though it's nice to get 2 cups and a little pot. The most clever part is the build for the little marshmallows, which uses that sweet top piece in white, which is awesome to get in white, which is pretty uncommon in that color. And then this little hot chocolate pitcher, which looks amazing. They use that clear, or not really clear, but blank headpiece in dark brown, which works perfectly for the bottom of it, and then they use a clear cup on top to make it look like a pitcher. Works perfectly, and such a clever build there, so very satisfied with this day. Alright, so day 16, let's see what we got. And we got a little sweet stand. Alright, so here's a little sweet stand. Not too interesting in terms of the build, but it's still pretty cute. You got a little table, and then you got what looks to be a cake, and maybe like a little sign with that nice printed kind of lolly piece, as I call it. But my favorite part of this whole thing is that they include that 2x2 round tile piece with, or round jumper piece is what I should call it, in white, which I'm going to be jacking that after I'm done reviewing this set, because in that color I really do need that piece for a mock. So that's it for this little build. Alright, now on to day 17. And we got this little, looks like a little campfire. Alright, so you got this little campfire in the middle, I guess, and these 2 little benches right here. Not too interesting, but I guess you can sit your mini dolls around and make them sing the campfire song if you'd like. So they just kind of sit down on there. Pretty cute build, I guess. Alright, day 18. Let's see what we got. And what the heck? Alright, so here is the table build. Pretty lame. I mean, they should include this maybe with like another one that included seats or whatever, but it's literally just its own day, and it just makes up for a build of 4 pieces that's very boring and bland. They didn't even add tiles to make it look better. Alright, day 19. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I like this. See, I like this build. This is clever because this is a little kind of a holder for the hockey sticks. I haven't really built anything like this before. I mean, think about that, a Lego holder for hockey sticks or whatever. But the cool part is these two hockey sticks, which are extremely uncommon pieces. They only came with a minifigure back in Series 4 in 2011. So great. I'm actually happy to get these two because I never had this piece before. Those are just kind of stuck in there like that. Very cool. And of course you can get your two mini dolls to kind of hold a hockey stick each, which is great. And they even give you a little hockey kind of puck right there. So that's neat as well. So you could start your own hockey games with this, which is really nice. All right, day 20. Let's see what we got. And it is, okay. All right, so for this day, we actually built two little hockey goals, which are kind of cool, and I like the yellow color, and it adds more to that playability feature of playing your little game of mini doll hockey. So we'll set these two suckers up, and then I guess we'll just put a little puck right there, and let's get this sucker rolling. So let's see, get it in the goal, and it didn't even go in. All right, day 21, let's see what we got. Ooh. Alright, not too interesting, not too unique, but we got a little catapult for snow shooting, and you just kind of push down on this. And yeah, it's supposed to fly out, but the whole thing just kind of tipped over. But yeah, that's it for the catapult. Alright, day 22. Okay. Alright, so this little build right here is actually kind of neat. It's like knock over the cans. It's basically just a little fair game or whatever. And for the cans, they just use those little cylinder pieces topped off with some 1x1 circular tiles right there. And yeah, it's pretty simple, but you use a little catapult right here that they gave you from the last day. And let's see if we can knock any over. So I would just set this up right here. And I know it's super close, so I'm destined to knock some over, but I still didn't. Okay, let's try again. There you go. I knocked that top one over, and then you can just kind of push the other ones over. All right, day 23. Let's see what we got. Almost done. Oh, a little Christmas tree. So here's the obligatory Christmas tree. Now, they do a Christmas tree in just about every advent calendar, regardless of the theme, but I'm kind of glad they switched things up this time, at least for friends, by including roof pieces in this nice white color, because it looks like half of it is kind of covered in snow. Very nice effect, and it works out very well. So that's it for the Christmas tree. And last, day 24. Let's see what they got. Alright, so day 24 is a penguin on a little kind of glacier or kind of ice block. Now, not very interesting build on the glacier or whatever it is, but the penguin, very nice piece. I haven't gotten this one before. It's fairly new for the LEGO Friends line. It didn't come out this year, but still pretty new. And I like the printing all over it. I also like how it has a little bow on top. Very cute overall. So here's my advent calendar setup. I have a little thing going on with the Heart Lake City, I guess, snow festival or something like that. It comes out really cute once you put everything all together. And you can see all aligned. We got a little music festival going on right here. Some little games right there. I didn't include this one because obviously they're just these little accessories. And you have Lisa skiing down right there, I guess skiing near the pathway. The little bunny, baby bunny, trying to get the carrot. Then you have that nice little hot chocolate stand with that crappy little table right there and a little sleigh. And then a little market going on where they sell baked goods and cook them with that little oven in the back. And Andrea is just playing some hockey by herself, unfortunately, on the little thin ice. Let's hope she doesn't fall in there or else she'll probably freeze to death, unfortunately. And then you got that little Christmas tree right there. So that is everything all together, and now let's go on to the final verdict. Overall, the LEGO Friends Advent Calendar for 2015 is my favorite one so far. Just like the LEGO Friends line, these just keep getting better and better and better. This one is no exception because this one has a great part assortment, but also a great assortment of builds. Usually these are kind of half and half on the builds, but majority of these builds are awesome. I really like how they now have this little play feature of this little hockey game going on. Then you got this nice little carnival game knocking over the little cans. And it's just all that stuff that makes this really just a sweet thing to open. It's really fun to open each one every day, especially if you're a child. Now, there's some great pieces in here that will attract a lot of adults, like the hockey sticks, the gnome hat, the blank minifigure heads, and the saxophone piece, the baby rabbit. All of those just make it for one great deal for $30. Disregard the price per piece ratio, even though it's not that bad. I think $30, this is a great set that's not only fun for kids, but fun for adults, and has a great kind of a value to it. So I do rate this set an A. Now I have to say, stay tuned, because on Thursday in the United States, but Friday all over the world, we're going to be taking a look at The Awakening. Have you felt it?